Hello, everybody. Welcome back. You were tuning in to the Chocolatelot. I'm your host, Alma, and today I want to talk about something very dear to my heart. And that is the fact that many of our men, some of our women, but majority of our men have no integrity. And I truly feel that the reason why they have no integrity is because they have no idea even how to find their purpose. It all starts with what it is you value, what it is that you hold dear to your heart, what exactly are your principles. It comes down to belief, because what you believe in drives what you value, and what you value shows in every decision you make in your life. Every decision. And it helps to set the boundaries for all that you do, so that you don't stray away from your beliefs and go down, as they say, the pathway to hell or fire or whatnot. And I know that our men struggle with this because, for the most part, a lot of our culture and a lot of what we believe in has been lost throughout the times. It's been lost. We look at God and Jesus, who I believe in. They don't have to necessarily be white. We believe for the most part that they are black and they're from Africa, but in the society we live in, we see images of them all around portrayed as white, because that is what majority of people feel is the dominant color on this earth. And our brothers look at that and they're like, nah, that can't be real. But you forget, the white man has a history, a culture of stealing our culture and artifacts and telling you that it's theirs. From the beginning of time, they came to Africa, stole our information, stole our civilization, stole our warriors, stole our everything, brought it back to their land, twisted it up, and brought that same information back in a completely different package to sell to us. Our own information. And we forget that. And so everything we see, we look at as, it can't possibly belong to us. Just like Cleopatra. Cleopatra was a black woman. We all know this, but have the historians tell it. They'll paint her in the history books and such as a white woman. Just because they paint her white don't mean that she didn't exist. Same thing with voodoo. Voodoo has been taught to everybody in our black culture as evil, as wrong. But do you know majority of whites are currently seeking out any voodoo style information they can because they want to practice it? And then you look at our like Yoruba religion. How many people of non-black heritage are seeking how to do the Yoruba religion? All of these things originated in African culture. It's part of our lost information that has been dispersed through time and not shared with us purposely and intentionally, because people want us to be confused about who we are. So just because Jesus is painted white doesn't mean he didn't exist, y'all. Just because God is painted white doesn't mean God doesn't exist. So I really hope that some of y'all are listening and really take this in, because this is the core reason why our men are, I would say, feeling less of a man than ever before. You look at the Haitian Revolution. We all know that the Haitians utilize voodoo heavy in efforts to help them, win their war against the colonizers. And they didn't just win the war based off of, themselves. They won the war based off of what they believed in. And when you don't have a drive, which is what belief is, then you don't have inspiration to do much. And we have got to find a way to help ourselves rekindle and understand what it is we believe in and figure it out. And I gotta say, a lot of our brothers, they are afraid of learning because it's been taught to us that not to open a book, not to seek out our information, because in the times of past we were punished. We've got to break that mentality, and getting on your purpose, aside from finding your belief and understanding what your values are, getting on track with what your purpose is entails you going out and helping to expose yourself to things that will be beneficial to you on your journey, that will provide inspiration to you as you go, so that you could find what next or where next you need to go from there. You can't grow and find your purpose by standing still. You just cannot. It takes effort. A lot of brothers don't like to go to church. They don't like to have their hearts opened or, seek wisdom. They're afraid of getting exposed to information because it would shatter their worlds. How would it shatter their world? It would make them realize that their parents, what they were taught was incorrect. It would make them realize that, what they're doing, everything they've learned, they'll have to unlearn. And it scares them. And we all know that once you learn something, you're accountable for what you learn. And based off of what you do with your knowledge determines what level you go up to. If you learn, if you go to school, you go to college or whatnot, you gain all this information, but you do nothing with it, guess what? It's a waste of time. You could be utilizing that information to build not only yourself, but generations after you. But, these are the problems that I'm seeing. And I feel like this is a huge reason why, the struggle's been real. A lot of it has to do with the fight internally. And I challenge you, my fellow black men and my fellow black women, to challenge yourself, to open your heart, to believe in God, our Creator. You don't have to know what He looks like. You just need to believe. It's about faith. And if you're someone that has your values instilled in you, then you are living life. Every decision you make is based on a higher reasoning. Most Christians, who value God and want to be in His good grace, a lot of times, even though, yes, there are bad ones, but a lot of times the good ones, they are making decisions that are going to help their soul be closer to God. They are going to be making decisions that are going to do right by their fellow brother or sister. So it's all based off of what you believe. And I would rather not take a chance on my soul by turning God down in this life than to pass away and wake up and find that He has been real all along and I've been denying and rejecting Him. I would rather not look Him in His face and said, I reject you, and say I rejected you. So, and I encourage you guys to pray. If you open your heart, then you will be ready to pray. And learn what you already believe in. Let's, set your standards for yourself Every decision you make, do it based on value, because that is what gives you integrity. That is what opens the doors of opportunity once you have an understanding of what you value. Then you have an understanding of principle, which is what is right and what is wrong, or as they say, standard. And I hope that we can get it together, and a lot of us need to do research collectively and learn more about our roots, learn more about what our ancestors believed in. Because yes, we are still in the fight of our lives today, but our ancestors were totally 100% in the fight of their lives then. And if you want to know the key to how they were able to continue on, while openly being enslaved to master, and even our past African, tribes, whether we know who they are or not, we know that they were winning their wars on African soil. How did they do that? What did they believe in? What did they practice to help them to be able to do so? We have to get back to that, and it starts first with finding our purpose so that we can walk in our purpose. And only when we find our purpose will we have an understanding of what our integrity is and understand what it means to be integral. So I hope some of y'all were taking notes. I hope some of you guys take this to heart. I really want to see our brothers get back on track. I'm seeing too many of our black men out here lost, confused, not even walking in a direction, not even having the slightest clue of what to believe in. And that is dangerous. That is the same thing as having no opinion. And like I said in my last episode, that's exactly what gets men killed. So let's be smart. Let's educate ourselves and do better, and not be afraid to grow, not be afraid to expose ourselves to growth. And might I add, there are a lot of our men, who think that finding their purpose means having a taste of everything out there in the world, having a taste of a white woman, having a taste because they feel that, that taste is going to get them a little closer to their heart's desire. Let me tell you something, that is not finding your purpose. It's not about having a taste, okay? It's about what are you truly seeking in efforts to grow. And someone who has an understanding of how to seek growth is not out there following lust, okay? They're not out there trying to collect everything their fathers couldn't have. It's about understanding, again, what you value and letting that be your guide. Because when you're in the right place at the right moment, your heart will tell you so. And that is God telling you you are on track. I feel, me personally, I am walking in my purpose right now. I feel that I have received many blessings and signs that I am. I feel like my guardian angels have been telling me so, very much so lately. And I appreciate that. And I know so because my heart is content. My heart feels so, and I feel myself growing every step of every day. And if you're not feeling that way, then something is off. That means you need to get back on your knees and pray. Humble yourself, humble your heart so that you can do that. So let me let that be my lasting words. I know some of you guys are not religious. You don't need to be religious to be able to walk this road that I've laid out for you. You don't need to. But if you want to find the correct religion for you, spirituality, whatever your own belief is. Again, it starts with what you value and what you believe. So do your homework, do your research. And until we talk again, peace. Thank you for tuning into the Chocolate Lot. Love y'all.